They call it digital dementia. Digital dementia. This is a new term in healthcare. Basically, it's like our phone's keeping our to-do list, our schedules, it's doing simple math. We're outsourcing our brains to our smart devices. And your brain is like a muscle. It's use it or what? Lose it. When you understand how your memory works, you can work your memory. When you understand how your brain works, you could work your brain. And so the truth is, every single one of you could do this, we just weren't taught how to do this. Right? If anything, we were taught a lie, that somehow our intelligence, our potential, our memory is somehow fixed like our shoe size. But really what this is about, at the essence of what we're talking about here, is about transcending, ending the trance. That's what transcendence is for me, ending this trance. Ending this mass hypnosis that somehow, we're limited. Somehow, like something is fixed, right? That our powers are something, that we're not as strong and capable as we are, that we're not enough. People want to be more creative, or they want focus. It's not about having focus, it's about doing focus. You don't have creativity, you do creativity. You don't have a memory, you do a memory. And a lot of what I teach is about taking things that you feel like is a noun, like something you have, like focus, and turning it into a verb. Because when you turn it into a verb, what happens? It's a process, right? It's a recipe, it's something you could do. And so I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna move kind of the curtain apart, I'm gonna show you what people are doing inside their mind, and it makes it look like where they're having focus. But the first part is you have to believe. How many people feel like you have mental fatigue? Right? Brain fog. One of the best ways of curing that brain fog is just deep diaphragmatic breathing. Sit the way you'd be sitting right now if you're totally engaged with what I was saying. And don't get lazy on this. You sit the way you'd be sitting, right? Because a lot of you, to get more energy, you sit up. Because here's what you do, because you don't have fatigue, you do fatigue. Does that make sense? You don't have brain fog, you do brain fog. And so part of it is when you're slumped over, you collapse the lower third of your lungs, and the lower 1/3 of your lungs absorbs 2/3 of the oxygen. Is oxygen important for your brain? Right? And that's why a lot of people get tired. So this is about peak performance, right? Elite mental performance. And if you want to learn under best conditions, put yourself in the best condition, right? Because I'm going to teach you skills that you'll have for the rest of your life. If you want to win the day, you have to win the first hour. If you want to win the day, you have to win the first hour of the day, right? Because there's something called the science of momentum. There are 3 supervillains that are robbing you right now. That it wasn't like it was previous generations. 3 digital supervillains. Number 1 is digital overload. Too much to learn, too little time. Digital overload's 1. Digital dementia we already talked about. That's the idea where we're outsourcing our brains to our smart devices, and our brains are basically making us stupid. Our smart devices are basically making us stupid, right? So I was talking to this brain doctor, he was saying GPS. If you're looking for a third-party piece of technology to tell you when and where to turn, you're not getting early detection of things like dementia because you're not realizing when you would have memory lapses, so you're not going to doctors to get checked out. Does that make sense? This is this thing called digital dementia. And then the third digital villain is digital distraction. You're talking about focus, right? You want to improve your focus? Where's your focus nowadays? We live in a world full of distractions. The worst habit you could have is to pick up your phone the first hour of the day. It is the worst habit you could have when it comes to high performance. And let me tell you why, okay? We are rewiring our brains to be distracted. I'll tell you the 2 things where we're rewiring our brains when you pick up the phone first thing in the morning. You're training your brain to be distracted. We interviewed Dr. BJ Fogg at Stanford University. He runs the Influence Lab. One of his students actually co-founded Instagram. So that's all about habits and making things addictive, right? Now think about it, opening up Instagram 150 times a day? But that's addictive, right? Because every time you see a like, a share, a comment, you get this dopamine rush, and that runs along the pathways of your motivation and your learning. So you're literally learning to be motivated by being triggered like that. So if that's the first thing you're picking up in the morning, shares, comments, likes, cat videos, or whatever it is, then your attention is being pulled everywhere, and you're training your brain to be distracted, and you wonder why you can't concentrate. Our attention span is less than a goldfish right now. That's what they're saying. The goldfish is 9 seconds, and our attention human span is about, on average, 8 seconds. After 8 seconds, our attention goes somewhere else. So here's the thing, whether that's true or not, we get the idea of where things are going. Don't pick up your phone, because it's training you to be distracted. I'll tell you the second thing it's training you to do, it's rewiring your brain for, it's training you to be reactive. Right? Not just distracted, it's training you to be reactive. Meaning When you want to create a business, right, and you have a vision for where things are going, you can't be reacting to everything in the environment. Because what you're doing is, when you wake up first thing in the morning, you cycle through brainwave states. And I'm not going to go through all of them, but basically, right now everybody here is in beta. That's the awake state. Delta is when you're asleep. In between are two critical states. One is called theta, and one is called alpha. Theta is the state of creativity. So when Einstein was doing all these thought experiments, he would flow in and out of the state right above sleep. Right? He would actually be in his rocking chair at Princeton holding a rock in his hand, and he would do these thought experiments, visualizing himself on a beam of light. And luckily he has the left brain, science and be able to math and formulas to be able to turn it into something. But he did this right brain's creativity, these thought experiments. But why would he hold the rock? Because if he fell asleep, he would what? He would drop it and wake up because he didn't want to go to delta. Does that make sense? So he wanted to stay in theta. So theta is the state of creativity. You know what puts you in theta? Showers. So here's the thing, like showers put you in a theta state. But that alpha state between theta and beta is the state they call relaxed awareness. Relaxed awareness. This is the state where you just absorb information. It's a hypnotic state that you're in when you meditate. This is the state that you're in of high performance a lot when you get into this zone. Have you been talking to somebody who's watching television and they're in a trance? They're watching sports or they're watching whatever their favorite show is, and they honestly don't hear you. Like they're in hypnosis, right? That's an alpha state. TV puts you into alpha state. It's where your conscious mind is set aside and you just absorb information unfiltered, right? So we train people on how to learn languages, how to learn school material by training them to get into an alpha state. This relaxed state of awareness where you just start absorbing information like languages or foreign like facts and figures and all that kind of information. Now, you are highly suggestible. So if you're in an alpha state when you first wake up in the morning, alpha theta, and you pick up your phone, you're highly suggestible. It's rewiring your brain to be reactive. Meaning if you look at a text message, a voice message, your emails, and you have all these things, people wanting stuff from you, right? You have to fight all these fires. So why on earth, if you're a visionary, right, you want to create your day, you want to win the day, like why would you look at everybody else's agenda, all the fires you need to fight, and go be in reactive mode? How are you going to be proactive, right? So they say that the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is when? Today, right now. And so that's why we teach accelerated learning, because if there's one skill to master in the 21st century, it's your ability to learn faster. I'm not kidding. Meta learning. Learning how to learn is the most valuable skill in my opinion, because that makes all the other skills and subject after that easier.
If you found the video informative, then hit the like button, comment your thoughts down and share to spread the word. Also, a sub to the channel would be motivating. Just wait, we also have over 300 videos to watch. Just click left or right. Keep inspiring.